All right. Hope everybody is having themselves a fantastic morning. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know that at least if I'm ever 2 minutes late coming back from a hike, that you guys will be sending the search crew out for me here nice and quick. So much appreciated. But hope everyone is having themselves a fantastic morning, feeling refreshed, recharged, and ready to go. Should be a pretty interesting trading day here, hopefully, because it's been a really interesting trading week, right? We've had a lot of really fun price action. We've had some of the fastest moving markets, right, that we've had in what's felt like months. And yeah, I mean that creates a little bit of extra chaos, right? It certainly invites, I think, feelings, right, of like the market being a little bit rigged against you sometimes. Like if you felt like you missed a trade there yesterday, guys, please don't overcorrect for that, right? Or feel like oh my gosh, like this service is rigged or whatever. Yesterday was very much an outlier day. This week has very much been an outlier week with just how quick things move. And that's going to happen sometimes. That's just a part of the game. So please don't, don't like panic at the disco about that. It's okay. That happens. We're all going to miss trades here every now and then. And hopefully we can kind of get back to that happy median of controlled chaos, not just chaos, right? But for now, we'll keep trading best we can. We got to trade the market in front of us, not the market we want. And hopefully, right, we can take advantage of whatever volatility and momentum that is there. From an economic calendar perspective, it should be a relatively smooth session. We've got crude oil inventories, but not until after we're done. And then it's just Fed speak, 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 Fed speak. So we'll see how that shapes up. It hasn't really been an issue for us here this week. Any of their comments in general, market's kind of been doing its own thing regardless. So long may that continue. Generally, the less we have to deal with headlines and we can just deal on pure price action, the better. And we've had a few days of those opportunities. All right. Yeah, let's get after it here. Let's start mapping things out. Let's figure out what we want to do, and then let's go from there. Yeah, I'll incorporate a heart rate monitor into Discord. Maybe we'll do a baby cam of where I'm sleeping, just so you guys can all see that I'm, still breathing overnight. But, yeah, well, let's have ourselves a day here, team, and get after it and keep this momentum going. All right, so first things first here, right? Green candle, decreasing volume gap up. So opposite of yesterday, 2 out of 3 to the to the upside without volume. And we'll see if that gives us some volatility. 67.70 is going to be the starting point here. I don't need that whole market co-op. I think one of the things that's been really, I was going to say peaceful. I don't know if peaceful is the right term, but it's made things a lot nicer to a certain extent, is being like the market has been consistent, right? All of our leading names have been rhyming to a certain extent, right? They've all been telling us a very similar story, and that's allowed things to be a little bit more consistent in the market, which has been fantastic. I love consistency in that context. So I would love to see that continue, right? If we can get to a narrative where things start to diverge, okay, we'll probably struggle a little bit within that context. Just struggle to get those quick moves like we've been getting here recently, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. To the downside here, 6,700, 6,690, and then it's mapped out. Cool. All right, NQ. I love NQ. I actually have a really cool poster coming with all about NASDAQ. I don't know why I said that, but that's okay. Green candle decreasing volume gap up. So again, we'll call this a 2 out of 3 to the upside without vol. To the target would be 25.1. That's going to get taken care of by our indicator. So we're looking at 25.2, 25.6, 25.7. And then to the downside, we're looking at 24.9. Cool. And yeah, we're still looking for a breakout of that Friday range. Let's see if it shows up. All right, CL inside bar going into data at 12. And so targeting 59.50 is our upside. And then to the downside here, targeting 58. Again, we have to be a little bit aware of its 5% limits here. I mean, I would be surprised if we trade within them, but just something to be aware of. It does get compressed pretty quick. So that'd be what, 55? We'll call it 56 would be the really final point we could target here. And we'll see how that shapes up. All right, Apple, red candle, decreasing volume gap up. So 1 for 3, non-trending PA makes sense. Looks like a doji. Tesla, same thing. Green candle, decreasing volume, earnings soon. Baby gap up. So again, we'll call that a 2 out of 3 to the upside without. Microsoft looks like decreasing. Oh, barely increasing. Call that with vol. Amazon inside bar. So already we're seeing a little bit more of a divergence between our leading names. That's a bit interesting. 2 out of 3 to the downside with vol on Tesla. Inside bar setup here. Okay, AMD. 2 out of 3 to the upside with volume. Okay, Meta. Technically a 3 for 3. Netflix. Red candle, decreasing volume gap up. So 1 for 3 to the downside. Don't know why that took me so long. And then Google 3 for 3 here to the upside. And then VIX back up above 20, which I kind of like. This is sort of my sweet spot of volatility. Let's see, where momentum shows up here today or where enthusiasm shows up here today. Let's see if we can go, see what kind of story basically the markets give us here today. Pretty optimistic. I think it's going to be a pretty good day. How's everyone feeling? Everyone feeling sharp? Everyone feeling good? Beautiful. Good to hear. All right. So yesterday, right? Really, really strong trading day. We had an absolute fantastic session. Unfortunately, right, that has nothing to do with our trading day here today. So we can't bring that baggage into our session, right? If we trade with that ego or we trade with that, like needing the same validation we got there yesterday, we're probably going to make some really bad decisions. So you have to really zone in, right, on the things that we can control. I've said this before. I'm sure he'll say it again, but a winning trade feels really good for about 5 minutes. It doesn't like as good as a day yesterday was. It's not enough of a singular result to individually change any of our lives, right? None of us there are, I mean, I'd be very surprised, but I don't think any of us are $4,400 away from being rich. That's kind of like an absurd concept, right? So we can't trade with that ego here this morning, right? We made money yesterday because we did a good job identifying market conditions. We got really tight risk, right, on those plays, and we filtered out opportunities that, maybe could have given us a move, but would have also potentially given us an outsized loss. So today we're going to focus on that same thing, right? We're going to look for opportunities. We're going to look for high conviction trades, and we're going to put ourselves in situations where it's easy for us to be green. And those situations aren't based on feelings, right? They're not based on ego. They're not based on how much money you made the previous day. Those situations arise when we look for really tight risk reward setups. We focus on closing our P&L as our trade is increasing, and we put ourselves in situations where we can make good decisions. The other thing, guys, I want to mention, right, is how to basically use the information you're seeing on my screen to make your own trading decisions, right? So obviously I've made videos about this in the past, but when I'm giving you guys, when I'm boxing in my trades and I am showing you my reference price, especially in the last, we'll call it 3 weeks, I think, give or take, I'm giving you guys, showing you everything, right? I'm showing you where my stop loss is going to be. I'm showing you where my entry is going to be with my reference price, and I'm showing you my profit target, right? The difference between my reference price and my stop loss has been between 8 and 4 points on about 80% of my trades. I'm giving you guys a window in a $25,000 security or 25,000 point security of 5 points approximately of my entry. I cannot give you a more precise view than that. It is then your responsibility, right, to within those 5 points to find your entry price and your entry timing. Not quite sure how to spell that out to be more clear or to be more precise. But that's a very small window, right? That's a very small, very small range that you guys need to focus on. And you should have all the information, right? You need to be able to hit those entries, right? So please, guys, let's be really focused there. And not overcomplicate things, because I'm telling you what my entry zone is going to be before it ever happens. And that entry zone is 5 points. When I draw out, or maybe sometimes 7, maybe sometimes 8, when I draw out my reference price, that then should also be your visual clue or cue over where you are looking for an entry. When I draw out that reference, all I am looking for is for a discount relative to that blue line. And if my risk, right, is 5 points, we'll call it, I'm not looking for a 10-point discount, right? Because that doesn't exist. I'm looking for a 1 point discount or a half tick discount or a 1 tick discount, right? So I want everyone to understand that context here this morning, because it is very, very important. There's only so much I can do, right, about boxing in trades and mapping them out. And yeah, for sure, sometimes things are going to move without me being able to give you guys a ton of heads up. But the way that we draw out things is where when I map out my trades and I give you my zone and then I draw my reference price, I am looking for an entry under that blue line, right? Not doing anything else. I'm not looking for anything specific. I'm looking for a discount relative to that reference price. So if you guys do the same thing for your entries, you map things out the same way I do, you will not miss trades. Full stop. So use that information. I telegraph what's going to be happening and why it's going to be happening to the best of my ability. I don't have the opportunity or the ability to solve for 100% of every exception. Doesn't exist. So do the very best I can with that information. You have everything you already need to be able to take my trades at the same entry as me or better. And if your objective is to then wait for me to say that I'm in, we've already talked about this in the past, but if your objective is to wait for me to say that I'm in before entering a trade, the con of that is that you will potentially miss trades, especially when markets are very, very fast. If your objective is to take the information I give you and to find your own entry inside that 5-point window, then you're going to be well positioned to take advantage of a fast moving market. But same thing, like we talked about the other day, every technique has its pros and cons, right? Every technique has its moments where it's going to outperform the other one. And you need to have the confidence and the understanding that if your technique isn't the one that's having its moment in the sun, that doesn't mean that the world is burning and you got to change absolutely everything. So pick what fighter you want to be, right? Choose the direction, be deliberate about it, own it, and don't try to solve for 100% because 100% does not exist. That makes sense? Beautiful. And when we map out those trades, guys, when we box in stuff, right, where we draw out that reference price, I am giving you all that information so that you can put it in your own trading view and you become latency proof, right? This discussion about the latency constantly on YouTube is so far-fetched from what the actual reality is. And it drives me insane when people use that as an excuse over why they are not making trading decisions. They are simply betraying themselves over the quality of their technique, and they aren't doing anything right to actually get themselves better. So Sonia, exactly like you said, you made $2,300 yesterday. You weren't impacted by the perceived latency whatsoever, right? So this is an excuse over why you aren't hitting your trades is ridiculous. You are giving yourselves an excuse instead of trying to solve the problem with the information that you already have. And the difference of 1 to 2 seconds or maybe 3 seconds is not the difference between being a winning trader and a losing trader. You are giving yourself that excuse. Honestly, you're being an idiot because we talk about trades a minute, 2 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, and there's not enough there to indicate anything. So you guys all have all the information you need to get the exact same order entry setup that I have and the same order window that I use and the same bit of price action that we're all looking for. That's got nothing to do with time. If you set your things up, you will be fine. If you are going to chase and then once you hear that someone is in and then you set up your order window and you execute your trades, you will always be late. And if you choose to do that, right, you're going to blame latency or you're going to blame other elements or you're going to do X, Y, Z when that isn't the reality. So talk about controlling the variables you can control. That's ultimately what that means. Everyone has the information they need before a trade ever happens. Use that information. If you don't understand it, right, ask questions, get that translated into a language that you understand, and you will make a lot more money. But I've said this in the past, and I will say it again. If you're showing up to the stream and you're trading, and your only way that you think you're going to make money is Michael says he's in, I blindly click a market order, and then when Michael says he's out, I out. you're going to lose money, because when we win, you're going to make a lot less, right? And when we lose, you're going to lose a lot more. And that fundamentally sets you up for it to be rigged against you. So do the opposite of that, right? We've got so many resources. We've got so many helpful people in here that are committed to making those changes smooth and easy for people, that we don't need to rely on those lazy techniques. We don't need to chase. We don't need to do that. The way that things are designed here is to try to give you guys as much precision so we can all get the same entry or better. Now, if you're going to try to do things your way and complain that we don't do things the way you want, you're going to be shit out of luck, and I'm not going to change my technique to make you feel better about chasing trades, because that makes everyone lose more, and totally opposite of how we want to behave in here on a daily basis. So that's all I'm going to say about that here today, because it shouldn't have to be repeated every day, but really important, guys, that we control those variables and we have an excellent. So it's not necessarily that you on a market order make less or lose more, but if you are entering a trade, let's say that I'm in at 25.074.75, and then you go in and you set up your order window and then you click submit. Well, now price has changed, right? Price is now 30 seconds different. And so if you click submit at 25.082, well, now you're 4 points worse on your entry, and you've got the same position sizing that I have. So when you lose, you're going to lose $500 more. And when we make money, you're going to lose, or you're going to make $500 less, right? So it's not that the market order specifically does that, but it's when you're 30 seconds behind and you're not looking to get the same entry price as me, you're willing to just accept any entry price that you get burned, because markets have moved, conditions have quote unquote changed, and you are chasing me. You're not trading the same thesis. That makes sense? So like we said in the past, if you're going to be waiting for me to say I'm in, which I have zero problems with, guys, right? But I'm going to tell you my price. Look to get that same price or better, because if you're getting 10 points worse entry or 5 points worse entry, or you're not adjusting your position sizing, right, to account for that worse price, you're no longer trading the same thesis, right? You're no longer copying my trade. You are chasing it. And the difference between chasing my trade and copying my trade is thousands of dollars in lifetime P&L, huge amounts. So understand the difference between chasing and copying, right? Copying my trades isn't, well, that's the con, Deb, right? Like I said, no technique, you're not going to solve for 100% for anything, right? So you got to figure out which pros and cons you're willing to live with. On certain trades, yeah, if I might not take it and you might get in, doesn't mean you have to hold on to that trade forever. You can get out too, right? And if your objective is to wait for me to say that I'm in, and then you're going to look for my entry, sometimes it's not going to retest, right? But no technique you choose to use is going to solve for 100% of your problems. We're solving for like 70%. So you got to figure out which one, right, you're willing to live with and own that. But it can't be a damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? That's going to happen if you're bouncing between too much. So understand what pros and cons you're happy to live with, because nothing, right, no matter what you try to do, is going to ensure that you catch every single one of my trades unless somehow Elon Musk creates a neural link where when I click a button, you guys, your finger all does the same thing. That does not exist, right? So until that does, you got to figure out what pros and cons you're willing to live with, because there is no perfect solution. And if you take a trade, right, where I don't jump in, you've now got a data point that you can learn and you can study and you can ask a question. Hey, Michael, I got in this trade. You didn't. What'd you see differently than me? Boom. Now you've learned something new and you've improved your technique. So we got to get off this roller coaster of every single trade being a referendum on our ability or our technique or how valuable the service is. Because it is not that black and white. Yeah, 100%, Mike. 100%. I'm not trying to be like grumpy or bitter or anything along those lines here, but I'm just trying to be very honest with you guys over the reality of what this is, right? I do my very best to try to map out my thoughts as clearly as I can and as much specifics as I can, but I'm not perfect and no one is. So we have to understand that and be okay with that and choose the technique that we're willing to live with. I'm not here, guys. Like I don't, yeah, like I don't make money when you guys make money, right? I don't lose money when you guys lose money, right? That's all individual to us. Like that's all unique to us, right? Our equity curve is like our own personal fingerprint. So we have to be accountable to ourselves and figure out, right, what the best thing is for us. One of my favorite sayings is that we're all in this together by ourselves, right? We're all going to experience things just a little bit different. We all got our own little baggage, our own history, our own traumas, our own psychological strengths and weaknesses, and they're going to impact every single one of our decisions, regardless if we like it or not. So the more that we're accountable to ourselves over those things, generally the better things go. All right, so we're looking here, NQ 2-minute time frame. Let's see. I'm ready to trade. Enough of this ranting and raving. Let's trade. So again, want to see that fake out first. And then elevator. And so far, no. So far, no. And if you guys listen carefully, just last point, right? When I'm looking for my entry, I'm saying stuff like watching here, looking now. I'm not going to say those things until my reference price is drawn, right? So once it's under my reference price and I'm saying something along those lines, right, that's my cue to you guys that I am looking for a downtick to go long or an uptick to go short. I'm trying to give you guys as much heads up as I possibly can to when I click that button. But if you need to watch me to do it so that you have confidence to do it yourself, you're missing the point, right? Because that's not how things work. My objective here is to teach you how to not chase, because you're going to make a lot more money that way. And I'm always going to fight back when your default technique is the perception of making things easier by making it easier for you to chase. And if I make a bad trade too, Earl, right? It's my fault. It's not your fault. It's not Kiki's fault. It's not my fault. It's not Kathy's fault. It's mine. So the more that we own that for ourselves, the better things go. A very interesting rejection there on the three men. Bearish engulfing on the two as well. A little bit of a choppy start, I would say, so far. For now, we're still looking at the pullback technique because we haven't made a lower low. Hey, ES actually gave us outlier volume. That's kind of crazy. All right, there's the lower low. Yeah, my next trade, guys, it's always a 50-50, right? It's either going to win or it's going to lose. The way that I make money is not by the outcome of my next trade. It's by the outcome of my next like 1,000, right? So, and that only happens when I'm consistent with my position sizing, my risk management. I control my variables. I don't compound dumb mistakes, right? That's when those good things happen to you as a trader. But like I said, right, none of us are one trade away from being rich. It's not how it works, not how it's ever worked. So we got to get off this roller coaster of needing validation from every single trade. Because if you're addicted to that feedback loop, like I'm that's like being a fentanyl trader, right? You're gonna be a zombie so soon. Even if you like, I'll say, be honest with you, Kathy, you move the goalposts too fast anyway to feel as if you're ever rich too, right? Like say this all the time, but when I first started or like chose to trade my own money, I always had this thing in my head where it's like, oh, once I start making 10K a month trading, I'm going to go live Airbnb to Airbnb and go be a digital nomad and do all these things. And then I hit that number and I looked at Airbnbs and I was like, well, all the ones I want to live on, well, 10K a month's not enough. So now I change that number to be X or Y or Z, and you just move those goalposts. So even if you were making, I don't know, say $250,000 a year trading, you wouldn't feel rich doing it because you move the goalposts and now you realize what's actually possible and you change your targets. And now you have a different perception. So got to get off of that roller coaster because it's not very good for us. And if we constantly just judge ourselves based on those things, we're probably going to struggle anyway. Not a great 3 or not a great 2-man candle to play a downside pop here yet. So far, kind of equal move higher, equal move lower, relatively choppy start, very slow start, all things considered. So we should just be patient for now. And if I don't get a trade here today, no big deal. Yesterday was an awesome day. Don't need to force anything. I don't know. I mean, what's the news in 7 minutes? Housing index? Like that's not even orange folder. So I think markets are just digesting so far what has been a chaotic week, right? The volatility has been crazy, but volatility of that extreme nature doesn't last forever. And it's normal for like, I mean, think about it from yourself, right? If you were to try to sprint for 200 meters as fast as you can, you're going to be out of breath and you're going to have to catch your breath before you make the next wind sprint, right? Kind of the same with markets. We've had a lot of volatility without there necessarily being a ton of like separation, right? We're still very much inside Friday's range. So if we look at this from a weekly perspective, right, it's an inside week. So it's been a week of consolidation, albeit consolidation with a freaking massive range. And so sometimes you got to just wait it out. Each day is going to be a new puzzle. Each day is going to have its own little intricacies. And there's not an answer for everything, truth be told. Sometimes it's just price action, right? To a certain extent, I think one of the things that maybe amateur traders obsess over too much is that they need an answer for every tick in the market, right? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why did do whatever? The price discovery or like how people move is not really that because there's too many different participants. There's too many different irons in the fire, right? To like isolate it as just one singular reason. Every now and then you get those types of opportunities, but I think we gotta let go, let Powell sometimes, and just understand that we don't need to know why. We gotta know how to trade the move. We don't need the explanation for it. We just gotta be willing to trade the price action that comes from it. It's like I'm not a macro guy. Like I could barely tell you any macro concepts. I don't think it matters. Right? There's nothing that price action can tell me that some textbook's going to teach me. It doesn't really exist like that. Still kind of like just muted stories here so far. Good volume, but tough range. This volume really does stand out, but it's not giving me a very nice opportunity for an entry yet. Hey, Rusty, how's it going? Um, I would say that I don't have a valid move here yet to the downside. like just contextually based on what price action is doing. It just looks like a fake out higher, fake out lower so far. So I'm not guided by the last. I'm not guided by the largest. There's not how do I describe this? I wouldn't say that the rule is like that binary, right? It's contextual. So the reason why I look at volume and candlesticks, right, is because they tell me a consistent story. So if I have a strong candle, strong volume profile, then I should have a conviction that it's a powerful narrative, right? So if it's a powerful narrative or it's a powerful story, I should see a price reaction to that event occurring, right? Which in trading is either separation above or separation below. So it's not that I'm looking at the last one necessarily or the biggest volume of the day. It's I'm looking for what's the volume profile and candlestick combo that matches my same narrative and that behaves how my narrative would expect it to behave, right? So again, guys, we're going in circles here a little bit. We just spent 5 minutes talking about how not every bit of information tells us something, right? Sometimes the story can just be markets are not moving. So what's the difference between wiki candles and price action being in the middle of the opening range? Tells us the exact same thing, right? We don't need to look for a deeper meaning than that. Right. And we know it's indecision because we're in the middle of our range and we've not seen any separation above or separation below. Right. So we've had volume, but no trending reaction, right? Or no PA or nothing that's like giving us the story that you'd expect. So in the one signal that we've had, or the two signals that we've possibly had, price action has not behaved in any reasonable context. And so we wait. And the only way that you derive meaning from the market is within the context of your rules, right? So if my rule is telling me, okay, I've got a big increasing outlier rejection here or a reversal, and then markets don't move, well, I'm being told I don't have a reversal. So within the context of my rules, markets are being indecisive. And I'm not pulling any other meaning or any other context besides that. Again, it's not an answer for everything, or there's not a, we don't have to try to be academics about every single candle. We're just going to lose our minds trying to do that. Sometimes things just aren't moving. Sometimes things just aren't giving you any follow through. Sometimes the market doesn't want to give you a trading day. And that's all just based on the context of your trading rules, right? This could be someone's A+ setup right now, but it's not mine. So I don't need to galaxy brain some sort of variant or answer. It's just not my conditions. And that's it. Right? Not every day is going to be a trading day. And that's fine. We've had plenty of action this month. Right? Even if I had one trade, I would say we've had plenty of action. I mean, some of you guys who have been here for a long time Rusty and Mike specifically, you guys might remember this. I have this this memory. It's memory hold in me. And this would have been like probably a March or April 2 or 3 years ago. And I remember I had a week where I had 2 trades for the entire week. And I got on a one-on-one call and someone just completely bitched me out for not placing any trades. They were furious with me that I hadn't placed any trades. It just made me laugh so hard. It's like, oh man, this person does not get it. But those days are long behind us, right? I haven't had a 2 trade week in years. But the number of decisions is honestly irrelevant. Sometimes we're going to have 2 trades in a week. Sometimes we're going to have 50. And it honestly it's not like a referendum on my style or my technique or my whatever. Just you take what the market gives you and you say thank you. You don't overthink it besides that. Yeah. When I don't place a trade, I'm in my second most profitable position. So if I don't have an A+ setup, I don't have an A+ setup. So these are my levels, right? That I have written down on my screen. And so, yeah, we'd be looking for breakout trades. Fundamentally, we're looking for a breakout market outside of Friday's range. So as a starting point, right, we're going towards those highs or towards those lows. But because that range is so large, right, the difference in between, we're targeting the previous day's highs, previous day's lows. Yeah, Mike, then that's totally fine, right? You're crushing it. Like, you don't need validation from the market. So for me, right, I'm generally targeting previous daily highs, pre-market highs, weekly lows, monthly highs, monthly lows, and then on NQ, 100 points in between, right? Just to split it up. And so those are the levels, right? That's what we do pre-market. What do you mean plotted on another screen? Like, do I have lines on them somewhere else? Is that what you're asking? No. Guys, my other chart that I have on my screen, I'll save this first. It's just this one. So my other screen that you guys don't get to see, if it ever decides to load, it just looks like this. It's just the opening range. Like, I don't have anything that I'm hiding from you guys. Yeah, okay. I don't have some secret indicator setup that tells me what the market's doing or anything along those lines. It's all just the same. Like, I hate it personally when my screen is got a billion lines on it. It gets messy. And truth be told, it's just a number. It is just a line on a screen. Like, people put so much stock into their technical analysis, but like, technical analysis is like going to a gypsy and getting your future told to you, right? It doesn't really mean anything. That's why we wait for confirmation, because it's just a line on a screen until you see market participants joining. So these numbers or our indicator or whatever you want to call it, these things exist so that we can refine our focus and not like be pulled in a billion different directions, right? It allows us to make our decisions to be consistent. It gives us a baseline that we can work off of. And then if we have inconsistencies, right, but you have a consistent process, you can see where things are breaking or going wrong. That's the reason why I'm a systematic trader, right? Because when my patterns start to break down in my process or they start to become inefficient, if I do the same routine or the same thing every single time, I can see what's broken and I can fix it much easier. But if every trade I'm making a new decision based on a new pattern or a new line or a new whatever, then those patterns get elongated, right? It's going to take me a lot longer to figure out what's broken. And so then I won't be able to fix it. Like the change to trading fake out entries was only an easy change to make because my stop loss technique is the same on every single trade. So it was easy to say that, oh, I'm getting faked out too often because each stop loss technique is the same, right? So it's just that it's having that consistency or having that baseline that then allows me to actually make changes that improve my trading. The more random my decisions are, the cloudier those signals effectively become. And I'll never get to notice the patterns that cost me money or make me money. And I'm effectively betting on black or red instead of being able to refine my focus. So that's why that systematic process exists. It's not for any other reason. I would much rather trade my impulses. It'd be a lot more fun. I'd be able to, I'd probably feel smarter, but I wouldn't make any more money. And if I had periods of drawdown, I wouldn't be able to figure out why things aren't working. So this is the counter. Again, we've not missed out on fuck all here today. All right, I'm going to go fill up my cup of coffee. I'll be back in a second. All right, I'm back. Okay, I mean, increasing but not outlier. Can't trade that. Decreasing volume. Decreasing on the 3. Decreasing on the 3. Yeah, boring trading day here so far, but not a big deal. How's everyone feeling? Everyone feeling good? Amazing. Good. We've not wasted any mental capital. We've not lost a dollar. Maybe the rate of inflation has cost us a bunch of money here today, but besides that, we're doing fine. Okay, this potentially should be, has a chance to be that increasing outlier here. Same thing on the 2. See how this candle closes. Oh, setting up as a little breakdown. Probably not a strong enough candle shape to call that a confirmation, right? That looks like a doji more than it does a most bearish, right? Looks more neutral than most. So we'll wait this one out for a longer time frame. And I've ranted and raved too much here today to now trade a compromise. So I've kind of backed myself into a corner to having to be a disciplined trader just to prove a point. So I'm not willing to trade anything that's a B plus setup here. Has to be perfect, right? Absolutely has to be perfect. Has a chance here. 10-14, pretty good time. Oh, 100% Rusty. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so let's see how this thing behaves. Yeah, I would like to see probably the fake out here first. We've seen a lot of wiki price action. Things have been moving slow relative to what we've seen so far this week. Why not see the other side fail, right? We want to get a clean runway for our thesis. Even here, this would have been a really tough trade to enter just from a position sizing perspective. Oh, no rush. We're going to wait. And remember, it's going to sound maybe weird how I phrase this, but when I'm actually trading, I'm actually being pretty greedy with how I'm trading, right? Because I'm not trying to eat everything. I'm trying to take a bite out of the very middle of the pizza or the hamburger or whatever analogy you want to use. I'm actually being extremely gluttonous in how I'm trading, right? So I'm trying to catch the juicy, easy, smooth middle. I'm not trying to bottom ticket or top ticket. So if the move takes a little bit of time to develop, I don't care, right? I can still get my big juicy bite. I can get that perfect bite. Very likely that this candle is going to go increasing volume here too. So let's see. And 10 seconds. Looking so far like a normal body bullish, which would be fine. Okay, so still in business here. Target would be the upper end of the opening range indicator. Okay, so let's watch. See bears fail first. Now we want to see elevator up, right? Elevator up. There we go. So now I'm setting up my order. Stop loss of 071. And I'm looking for an entry here under 80. Might not happen here. Let's see. Okay, watching. Let's see how this thing pulls. Too fast, way too fast. So now you're looking at a 067 stop. Again, too fast. Okay, 065 would be the stop loss now. Okay, now we're looking for a gentle pullback again. That was definitely a good elevator. Sounds good, Mike. Enjoy. Come on. Too fast again. Okay, guys, I am in. Why can't I see my price? Average price here, 06975. 06975. Oh, this thing's taken off. I got 3 contracts on this. Oh, 6975. Stop 065. Three cons, probably could have gone bigger. Ooh. Okay, well, that's starting to behave a little bit funky. Let's see if this can get up and over. Very nice. So far, so good. There's 15, 17. See if they get over. Ooh, that was kind of a rejection there, I think. Let's even get over that 25-1. Nice work, Jared. There it goes. Let's see if we can get a nice, one more nice little pop here. Sweet, guys. I am out. Exit price 103.25. for just a little bit over 2K. Let's go. So again, in that situation, right, got to figure out which fighter you are and which one you're happy to be. That hovered in our entry zone for a long time, so everyone had a plenty of time to catch that. And a great trade. Great trade. Let's go, Tyler. $2,900. Congratulations. Let's go. 1,100. Fantastic. Let's go, Austin. Nice work. Hey, let's go, Jeremy. $700. This is a great welcome present. Now, right, we'll see if we can get maybe a setup here on the 5-man or on the 2-man and play like the breakout thesis. That was a good first trade, guys. Really good first trade. A bit unlucky there, Nick. Well, great decision. We didn't get greedy. We locked in a nice win, closed as P&L is increasing. Nice and controlled. That's all we can ask for. We got entry price was $69.75. $69.75. And a stop loss. Let's go, Shiv. Love to hear that. Yeah, lock it in and run, man. Go enjoy your Australian evening. So Dave, right? With your entry, our stop loss was at 65, right? So how tight do you need it, right? Yeah, you were looking for 3 points of risk. That's really tough, right? That's really tough. So maybe a little bit too greedy on your entry target. Right, because it's all relative to our risk, right? You were looking for a pretty big pullback relative. Let's talk about this operationally here, guys, as well, right? What I'm doing, so let's say that I'm not taking this trade, right? Not taking this, is just for illustrative purposes only, please. Okay. So I'm going to set up my order window here. Let's just set up a short because this is moving that direction. So let's say that my stop like this, right? So I'll have my stop loss set 0.70. I'll have my risk based on my reference price, right? So it will be 0.65, right, on this short. And then that is where I'm managing my risk. So here I'd go to 5 units. I'm then memorizing this number, right? Minus $500. And then I go here, click 0, and I wait until it's at $500 or less, and then I click sell. That's still going to send it to me as a limit order, right? And if I click sell, it's going to get me a fill at the best price. So there, right? You see how it was less than $500. So that's when I click submit, and I'm looking for that difference there. Again, not a trade I was really taking, just an example here. That's the process, right? Every single time. So you don't need to put in a 068 in your limit order window. You're going to set yourself up to miss it. You're looking to get a discount relative to the reference price. And once you have that discount based on your position sizing and risk, then you click submit. Does that make sense? Let's go, Rich. $1,200. Brent, $1,800. Let's go. I use that technique for every single one of my trades, guys. Every single one. I made that video the other day. That's what I do on every single trade. All I am doing is looking to get a discount relative to my reference price, right? So if I can save 10% on my risk, that's 10% I'm going to make later down the line. Makes it easier for me to be green. I'm just doing that on every single one of my trades. And if it's better than the blue line, good. If it's worse than the blue line, bad. That's all. It's the only metric. Like all things considered, right? Your perception of how you're viewing price action move in the moment is kind of fugazi, right? It's kind of fake because there's too many confirmation biases. There's too many other things that get in the way that don't give you an objective opinion. So only thing that I can get that becomes objective in my entries is, am I getting a discount or not, right? It's the only objective thing I can create when I'm getting a lot of emotional triggers effectively. So that's all I'm doing, right? And so I'm trying to make it easy for myself to buy a discount. And that's the way. Let's go. Nice work. Now look at this. We've made money in a market that has not moved. Pretty nice. Well, so far, so good here today. So far, so good. And just one last thing here, right? The reason why I have my technique set up that way is because I want to make sure that when I click submit, I am getting filled, right? So when I set up my window to be that way again, let's bring it up again. Again, just a hypothetical trade. I'm not taking this, right? This is just for illustrative purposes. If I type in a specific price here and I have the ask +1, -2, +2, whatever it is, I'm setting myself up to not get filled at the price that I want. When I make my technique to be the process I've described, so reference price here, we'll say, right, stop loss 92. I'll just say 90 just to keep it simple. And I'm looking then for an entry under 100. Right? Then when I get this to be ticks -0, I'm getting a fill at effectively treating my limit order, turning it into like a market order, because it's going to give me a fill up until the price that I execute at, but it's going to execute at the moment I click submit. Right? So I'm ensuring that I get filled when I expect, and I'm not hoping that a fill is going to happen. Old dude, you ask this every day. I will always be honest when I am done trading for the session. If I were done, if I didn't think that there was anything left, I would have shut down the stream, right? I'm always going to let you know. So you turn your limit order into behaving like a market order by using that technique, and you get filled when you expect to get filled. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, but do you know how quickly I would have gotten fired from my old job if I didn't know the price that I was getting executed at, or I wasn't getting executed at the time or I expected, right? We can't leave that up to chance, right? When I want to be in a trade, I want to be in the trade. I don't want to hope I'm going to be in the trade. I want to be in it. So that's how you do it, right? That's how you ensure that you don't miss fills. You make your variables tight, you control the variables you can't control, and you be consistent in your execution. And it's the same thing every single time. Right? Because if I build up the muscle memory and I'm consistent in my process, I also remove a lot of ambiguity, right? And that's extremely valuable. So we should never be surprised when we get a fill. And it should be very, very rare that we're missing fills when we're expecting to be in. It's got nothing to do with paper trading. Got nothing to do with trading views. Got nothing to do with your broker. It's a technique thing. And I do the same thing every single time. Because again, right back to that, why is my trading systematic? It's because if I make a mistake or it doesn't behave the way that I want, it's easy to figure out what I need to change. And once you get that routine down, guys, it'll become muscle memory, and it'll make it feel as if the whole market has slowed down so you have the time to enter your trades. Right? Because you're able to set up your orders, you're able to do all these sort of things without having to think about it too much to a certain extent. You can behave inside your flow state. And when we're trading inside our flow state and we're not forcing decisions or we're not stuck with like analysis paralysis, that's when really good things happen. All right, so we're possibly going to have another setup here. Right. So for now, we'd be defaulting to the pullback entry technique. Let's see how it closes. Needs to hold above previous high of day, which it will comfortably. And now we're waiting to see which one it goes to. Again, we'd like to see that fake out first. Right? So there's no rush here yet. I don't have my order window set up yet. Nothing like that. Still just watching. So for now, right, all we're looking for here is that fake out under 112. That's what I'm looking for here first. If I get that fake out, then I'm going to start to set up my order window. Until I see that, I'm going to be really patient and honestly be very protective over my 2K day. Does that make sense? And so now that I know what I'm waiting for, right, I'm being specific in what I'm waiting for. I created a binary event, right? Either it gives me that fake out under 112 or it doesn't. And so now the market is like slowed down, right? It feels as if it's crawling towards that. And I can remove that emotional attachment over making a decision. That's extremely valuable. Right? Because when time slows down, you don't make decisions or you don't make mistakes that were influenced by a rush of blood, right? And if you can avoid those mistakes, you're like 60% of the way to being profitable. So far, double inside bar. Again, no reason for me to enter this trade yet. Okay, so now let's see if this candle will close and we can possibly look for an aggressive entry technique. Let's see. Should hold 150 here. Yep. Cool, cool, cool. So now we're looking for aggressive. We want to see that 152 fake out. Let's go, Rusty. 5 points of risk. Speaking my language there. And again, right, we want to see that fake out first. See bears fail first. If they don't, no worries. Don't care. Don't need to force a decision. I just need the market to neatly follow my rules. And if the trade is strong, it'll give me more than one chance to enter. It's a shame. Had we used a different entry technique, right, we would have caught this trade. But I've said it before, right? We're not solving for 100%. No matter what we try to do, no matter what technique we deploy, we're going to miss trades. We're going to miss things that move in our thesis's direction. That's okay, right? That's not a big deal. Happens to every single trader that has ever traded. We're not here to force anything. We're here to follow our rules and to remain in control. The second we give up that control and we give it to the market, oh, we're screwed. You will lose money, guaranteed. Again, we're resetting. Okay, there's the possible fake out. So now, right, in my order window, I'm putting in 168 as my stop loss. But still no reference price, right? So I'm only 1/3 of the way towards my entry. Now stop would be 167. So now 166, and I'm just going to wait now, right? I'm going to wait. See if I can get a nice pullback here under 175. Okay, watching here. And I'm in. Average price 169, stop loss 166. 3 contracts again. There's your retest. And there's my stop loss. I'll try this again potentially. Be a 162.75 stop now. And that cost me $200, guys. $200. And now I'm going to say no on taking this. Okay, well, maybe a little bit better. Maybe we're going to see a fake out now under our confirmation low. All right, so it looked like that. We're using this blue line right now just as our reference of what the fake out was, right? Where the fake out level was. So now we'd be looking at a 143. Okay. Okay, and I am back in 150.25. Oh, just got stopped out again. I didn't cross my spread. That's kind of greasy. Okay, now I'm going to avoid this, not behaving like a fake out. And now we're looking potentially for a downside look. Oh, fake out higher, confirmation of that fake out. And now we want to see a quick pop above 139 on this short. was. So now let's see. You're looking at a 142 stop loss. I'll just call it 143 to keep the math simple. And now we're looking for elevator down on a rejection. Not happening. It's elevator up so far. Now stop would be 147. Okay. So now let's see if we can get an entry. All right, guys, I'm in 143.50, 143.50, stop loss 147. Three contracts. I'm not feeling super good about this entry. Okay, guys, I've closed this. I have closed this at 139. I'm going to reset that. I didn't like the way that was feeling, that entry. Bad decision. That's okay. Very bad decision. Oh, it's got to do that to me, of course. Hopefully a few of you guys held on through that. That was a mistake. Not a big deal. Let's go, Derek. Nice work. Good job, old dude. Well done. Nice work, Earl. Yeah, I mean, I made a bit of a mess in my pants on that one. Nice work, Rusty. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, like I don't know why my stop loss triggered. I didn't see the price go above it the first time. So to be investigated, but I'll worry about that later. Don't care about that right now. And Dave, it's not that you finally got a good one. So you finally got your entry technique to be what it should be. So you actually get a trade. Should I? Maybe. And the reason I'm not trading this on the 3-min, right, is I have no increasing volume on this setup here. I have to wait. Possibly our fake out. Let's see. So stop would be 132. Nice work, Kyle. Go enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Sounds fantastic. Nice work, Jason. Okay, same thing. So we can get a fake out above potentially. Appreciate that, Kyle. Glad to hear you had a great day. Well, let's see if this is the little fake up above. Let's stop at 137 for now. Might change very quickly. Okay, now would be 140. It's simple. Nice work, Brent. Let's go. Hell of a day. Congratulations. Okay, so now 141. Okay, I'm going to wait. Could be the fake out above our confirmation high. So 145. Are you doing this? 150 now. Two minutes still fine. Okay, did not give me an entry. No big deal. Tried to give it as much time as I could, but didn't quite give me what I wanted. So, Dave, right, with how you're practicing, I've already shown you twice on the live stream here today how to execute your trades the right way. You're paper trading. Practice, right? Like no other time is going to be better than now, right? So, what are you waiting for, right? That'd be my question. Don't allow your greed to skip you from learning the things you actually need to learn here. Bit annoying we missed that, but that's fine. This thing will set back up for us here in a second. No, but you should be doing it now, right? Like, what else did you need to have seen besides how I walked you through it, right? So fix it now. Don't wait. Why? Why slow down? Practice it now, right? No, don't use that fucking language. Don't describe yourself like that. That's pathetic. You're not. Oh, if you tell yourself and you give yourself permission like that, then you are. Don't do that. That's self-sabotage. Just watching for now here, guys. Just watching for now still. Again, man, be more deliberate with your language. Don't allow yourself to have such an easy excuse. You don't see that fake out over 117 first. A little lower low, lower high. So still just waiting for this little fake out first. Let's see if it happens. As much as like 112. This could be it. Now we're looking at a 120, right? Stop loss. And we're looking for elevator down rejection. There we go. Sounds good, James. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, so watching carefully here at the speed of this pullback into my entry zone. Come on. All right, guys, I am in. Average price 116.75. Stop loss 120. Ooh, how did I not get stopped out there? Still in, guys. Still in. Oh, there we go. It just got stopped. Okay, for minus 350. We'll potentially try this again. Now that put me at a 125 stop loss. Maybe looking at like something like this. Unreal. Oh, shake and fake. That's okay. Sitting on about 1100 here right now. Maybe I should have stopped after the first trade, but it's okay. And maybe we'll just have to wait for this thing to break down under 25.1 to get the smooth move. I'm pullback here. Nice work. I'm having some big days here. Love it. Well done, Kyle. Enjoy. Oh, I mean, all right. Okay, that might be the fake out. Oh, 94. 094. See if it can pull into the entry zone here gently. Okay, watching here. Too fast. Still too fast. Still too fast. Oh my God. Okay, so now you're looking at a 113. How quick it changes. Now like a 115. And at this point, may as well wait to see if we get a rejection or a fake out above this high. Interesting. Kind of looks like it might be a reversal back to the upside, right? We've invalidated now this confirmation candle on bigger volume, right? So it looks like a fake out lower, not a continuation breakdown. Well, this is be the setup for now. 115 stop loss. Yeah, take it and run. Absolutely. Okay. Beautiful. So 112 would be the stop, guys. 112. 6 points of risk. Let's see if it can pull in. All right, we'll try this on the. Oh, there it is. Okay. Gonna stick this on. I'm gonna keep watching this on the 2. Come on. Still in business here. That would be something like that. See the fake out first. Okay, so now stop would be 119. Actually lower. Now it would be 104. I'd be looking at something like this pretty much. Close. Better. Just missed it. Gosh, 4 points is not a lot to ask for, but right now it seems like it is. Nice work, D. Scott. Hell of a day. Congratulations. Okay, still in business here. You're looking at something like this, 119. Be the stop loss. We had the fake out there on the previous candle, so don't need to see a fake out on this one. Nice work, Kenneth. Yeah, go enjoy your day, man. Go enjoy your day. Okay. See if this possibly fakes lower. Go. Okay, just watching for this pullback here now. A little bit too fast. Just be patient. A little bit too fast. Better. Still a little bit too fast. Feels like the fake is coming. Exactly that. All right, so it'd be a 117 stop loss. Don't like this yet. All right, guys, I am in 122.75, 122.75, stop loss 117. There's your retest. Don't like that. 122.75, 122.75. I feel early potentially. Oh, I spoke it into existence. One more attempt at this. Okay, so stop would be 110. And reference price would be like here-ish. A little too fast. Not a fake out there. Maybe this 101. Okay. See if we can get it. Hey guys, I'm in 106.75, 106.75, stop loss at 98. No. It's gotta go here. Gotta go. Gotta go. It's misbehaving a little bit. All right, guys, I'm out. I am out. Exit price 108. Gonna try this again potentially, but I felt early. Let's see. Might have been a bad decision. We'll see. I won't tell. That's okay. Let's see. Still sitting about 1100 here. Like make 200, lose 200. Make 200, lose 200. My judge on being early is a bit off today. The radar is a bit off. Nice work, Nick. I mean, you guys are having great days here. Well done, guys. I'm gonna wait this candle to close. A little bit unlucky with some of this stuff here, last couple trades. Nice work, Jason. $117 stop loss for now. See the fake out. There it is. Now you're looking at a 113. Something like that, probably. Hey guys, I'm in kind of a crappy fill. 118.50. 118.50 fill price. Little bit too aggressive there. Okay, so I've closed that at 119.50. I'm actually going to try to get an entry inside my zone. No, let's see. Okay, there's a possible another fake out. So good decision, right? If it was a bad entry, I don't need to hold on to it and hope I get bailed out. So that was the right call. Right, and it was a binary, right? My entry was worse than my reference price. So I don't want to be in that trade, right? I'll get out, try again, no big deal. And now we're looking for another fake out here under that 98.75. Yeah. And Tyler, it wasn't because of anything besides I judge my entry. Good entry, I want to be in. Bad entry, I want to be out, right? That gave me a bad entry, so I got no choice but to get out. It's not fun. It sucks. But it's the disciplined thing to do, and that's why it makes you money. Okay, so now we're looking at a stop at the 100 mark. I 100% agree with that. Okay, is this that fake out below? 97.50 would be the stop, guys. 97.50. And you'd want your reference price to be like about 100 or in that range. Come on. Too fast again. Too fast, flush. Now we'd be looking for a potential breakdown setup, right? too fast. Don't too fast. So I'm sitting at 941.08. A little bit of a bleeder since our first trade. Let's give this a second to sort its shit out. Okay, and we're going to have a setup here on this 2-min increasing outlier volume. So reasonable close and we'll be in play. Five seconds. Come on. Okay, good close. Just going to flush. So we'll wait for this on the 3. Maybe we can get a little fake out on the 2. Let's see. Interesting. Ooh, definitely elevator down. I do something like that. Points of risk. I'll just wait for this on the 3. Got 20 seconds to go. Okay, so let's see the little fake out above. There it is. You're looking at an 054. 054. Okay, watch, watch, watch. Two just of the briefest entry opportunities one could have ever possibly seen there. This thing is just freaking flying down. No entries. A little bit painful. Doesn't want me to be involved. Oh, every now and then it makes it feel so personal. Yeah, so watching here carefully, watching here carefully. Stop here would be 45. Don't be in a rush here, guys. Don't be in a rush. Mad annoying, but that's okay. I get to 39 as a stop loss. I'd want to see a fake out above. Oh, this is a dick. Everything is moving so fast. Again, we'll wait this thing out. Very, very interesting session so far. All right, still watching. What a flush. Let's see a little fake out above. Looking at an 029 stop loss. Let's see if it fakes out again. There it is. Or if we can get a fake out above here would be nice, which is an 039. Let's see. Nice work, Tony. Okay, there it is. So stop would be 42. Okay, guys, I'm in at 38. That thing instantly flushed. I'm sorry. In at 38. And there's 15, 13. All right, well, I've closed that. I'm going to take my 1,200 bucks. See if we can possibly try this again. Kind of deja vu to the first trade yesterday. Let's see if this thing behaves nicely again. Okay, I'm back in at 36.25. 36.25. Same stop loss. Let's see if we can keep going. Nope. All right, I'm out, guys. I'm out. Try this again. What a decision. Exit price on that was 32.75. A little win. Gosh, this thing is a market that's on crack. Oh, how's everyone feeling? Everyone feeling good? Everyone green? been a lot of Michael ranting and raving here today, so I know that can change opinions pretty fast. Yeah, that's now looking like a 5-min reversal. Nice work, Roberto. Awesome. I'm just trying to catch up to a few of your guys' P&Ls here on the date. So now we're looking possible reversal scenario here. Let's see if it finds some legs. Looking at a 35 stop. There we go, Dave. Beautiful. So let's see. Is this another fake out spot? Hey, nice work, Mike. Oh, I missed my entry there. Fuck. Oh. So I'm at 22.9875 here so far. Not bad, but still volatility in this market, so I'm happy to keep trading. I might have a call at 9. Spencer, if you're still watching, if we're late, we'll jump on when it's done. Yeah, we're back to the 2-min. It's what? Profit target to stop loss. Okay, so we're looking at an 0.59 stop loss. Big. The reference price there. All right, guys. So I am in 0.62. Stop loss at 59. 62.75 is actually my entry. 62.75. Oh, got stopped. Try this again. Will now be a 48. $43. 140. So, okay, all right. A little bit of chaos never hurt anybody. At like a 32 now. It's starting to look like it wants to be a falling knife. I'm gonna wait. 1801.34 so far. So now we're looking for a fake out under low of day. Right, which is 25,000, which is a nice psychological number. See, that might be it. Target would be high a day. Insane. All right, so you're looking at a 97 for now. Let's knock in once. Let's see if it knocks again. Oh, this might be sell again. Fucking dump. All right, well, we're gonna wait. Yeah, and this kind of looks like a capitulation candle akin to this one. Now a little bit different because it actually held under those lows. So now we are looking for a breakdown setup. Would be a 96 stop loss. Okay, is this the fake? Looking now 97. There's the fake again, possibly, which would put you at 99-ish. All right, guys. Well, I am in 990. Again, another shitty entry. So I'm going to look to get out. Closed at 88. Try this again here. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Okay, come on. Here we go. Let's see. Didn't go above 91.75. Too fast, way too fast. Better. Okay, guys, I'm in 2507, stop loss at 13. Beautiful. There we go. Maybe I jinxed it. All right, I'm out, guys. I am out at 04. Ooh, not all of it. Okay, now I'm out. Oh, I got a greasy partial fill. Try this again. Whoa. Again, I would have only been stopped out right prior to this thing breaking down, so I can't. Oh, it's driving me nuts though with the little shake and fakes it's giving me. Not easy. It's like it's trying to move in the most difficult way possible. Oh, we're going to 911. Oh boy. So weird volatility today compared to what we've seen so far this week. All right. Okay, so stop would be 986. All right, guys. Let's see. That was just about to be it. 92 would have to be the stop now. That's a greasy trade. Yeah, that's a greasy trade. All right, so watch this again. Gosh. All right, guys, I'm in 86.50 on the short. Stop loss at 92. It got very close. Come on, flush, flush, flush. There's 1,000. Come on, you're close. I want to see it get under 70. Nope. All right, I'm out. Out at entry price here, fill price 81.25. Yeah, I'll try this again potentially. Oh, this might be a reversal all of a sudden. Or it's looking like that. So many little nasty little wicks. It does not want to make this easy. It's moving in like the most annoying way possible. Like flush, retest above entry price, then flush. Just super annoying. I wish it makes you feel alive. Let's see if this is the fake out. Could not be looking above. So 2507 would be the stop. Never mind. Let's wait. Okay, 014. Couldn't get the position sizing I wanted there, so I'm going to wait. Yeah, I definitely feel like I've taken the long way around here a little bit today. It's still alive. I'm feeling actually pretty good. All right, watching here. All right, guys, I'm in 25011. 25011, and I'm out. Let's try this again. Be 018. Well, I'm back in at 09. There's your retest. There it is again. It's too bouncy. All right, guys. I'm going to look for a close. Come on. Give me a flush. One more little flush through 25. Come on. There it is. All right, guys. I'm out. 98.25 exit price. 98.25 exit price. Oh. I'm tired. All right. Who's with me here? Anyone still alive? Who's with me? How you guys feeling? Have one green? Yeah, have one green. PNL 271815. 271815. So Brooke, we're pretty much dollar for dollar. Beautiful. Nice work, Dave. I feel like I've made a lot of mistakes here today, to be honest. My gut's been I don't know, shouldn't rely on my gut, but I feel like there's a couple I've closed like 5 seconds before beauty. Know what I mean? I've also closed some 5 seconds before disaster, and those are easy to forget. I'll remind myself that, I guess. Nice work, Brooke. Yeah, go enjoy the day. Nice work, Dave. Again, we're now looking for reversals. Oh, it's 11:54. I'm trading for a while today. Kath, are you green? Beautiful. Good. Have one green? Yeah, just I know it's been a very fast-paced moving morning, so I've not had too much time to check in. Everyone surviving? Yeah. Let's go, Ajay. Congratulations. Hopefully you're sitting on hands since then. Yeah, it's kind of been the thought in my head a little bit too here, Austin. It's been a lot of work to make an extra $600. A lot of work to make an extra 600. Good man, Jason. Good man. Like if you're frustrated, you're nicely green on the day, go enjoy your life. I don't see myself being here for too much longer. Although I still can talk myself into the setup to the upside here. I would have to see the fake out under this confirmation low first. Here it possibly is. Now it's a possible fake out under low a day. Let's stop at, we'll say 57. Put it lower. So now it would be 51. Fall a knife. Back to 50. It's too fast. 49. I can't even say the numbers out before it gives me a new dump. Looking at a 45 now. Yeah, I missed it. Hey, nice work, Todd. Yeah, if you're green, you're green. That's really, you're not going to remember a week from now that you were frustrated today. You're just going to look at your calendar and be like, yeah, I stayed in control. Okay, so watching here. Gonna fake out again here first. Just wait. Honestly, on a day like today, when the market's like kind of in this crazy mode, which I love, it's a lot of fun. But it's like I pinch myself and I'm like, oh man, I could have been a lawyer instead. And I remind myself how miserable I'd probably be in the office right now. Oh, what a life. Spencer, right? If you're watching, Hopefully you are. We'll jump on our one-on-one once the trading day is done. Just bear with me here for a few minutes, please. Okay, there's the possible fake. Looking at a 39 stop loss, guys. 39. It's moving so damn fast. Okay, watching. Just a little bit too quick here so far. Maybe 35. I don't like. This is crazy. Ugh. It's moving like a penny stock today. Are you with me? All right, so watching here, guys. Watching. Be a 33 stop loss. Just missed it. What is DL software? Okay, so still looking for those wiki entries. All right, guys, I'm in 38.50, stop loss at 33. Wow, perfect entry. $53, $54, $60. There's $2K. Oh, God. What a hard-working day. Wow. Okay, guys, this thing is freaking exploding. So now the energy is closing as P&L is increasing, right? Focus on closing as P&L is increasing here. Woo! 34. Wow. We absolutely nailed that, guys. We absolutely nailed that. Unbelievable. What a day. Ooh, trying to breathe. Wow. Okay. Keep. 80. Oh, that's 4K. Jesus Christ. This is going to be a 5K win, guys. Oh my God. Fastest 100 points I've seen. All right, I'm not going to be a dumbass here. So I'm going to close and I'm out. Oh. Well, that was fun. What a close, too. Wow, what a close. All out at 92. All out at 92 for 42.80 on that trade. Yeah, well, sometimes the scary entries are the best ones, Dave, because it's our emotions that are telling us it's scary, nothing else, right? And our emotions are a liar. Oh. What a fucking day. Insane volatility here today, guys. Insane. Oh. Feel a little bit like a madman. Yeah, hell yeah, Kathy. Hell yeah. Oh. All right, F1 green. I'm not going to place single anything else here today. This is my biggest day of the year by a lot in what has been my biggest week of the year, probably by a lot. Oh. Good man, Jason. Good man. Almost 7K here now. So 6, 9, 17, 89. Holy shit. Like literally adrenaline pulsing through my veins. Oh. What a fucking life. Insane asylum day here. Absolute insane asylum. Oh, I'm freaking shaking a little bit. Oh. Holy fuck. How's everyone feeling? Entry price on my last one, 38.50, 38.50, 938.50. It is insane. Yeah. Yeah, this feels like a lot of trades today too. Ooh. But just traded until the market. I mean, it's still giving us volatility. I'm just, I think, at my limit here of fucking around. Like I said, I can literally feel the adrenaline pumping through my arms right now, which is an insane feeling. So I don't want to make another decision. I would like to just be fucking done. Oh. Insane asylum day. Insane. Oh. Let's go, Austin. Incredible. All right, guys. Any questions here? Any questions? Ooh. Come on, not that. Just that this area was super wicky, right? So time of day and just how extended the price action is. Bollinger Bands will give you a good idea. But how extended the price action is, and these aren't the default ones. Just be so super overextended price action, right? Telling you that it's super unlikely that you're going to get a continuation breakdown, especially once you see all those wicks inside that area. So effectively, right, my thesis ends up being this reversal candle, right? And then just all the wicks below, everything below, say 950 to 935 is only buyers. Everything else is kind of irrelevant. So I'm just playing a mean reversion opportunity. And then all I see here is fake outs, fake outs, fake outs, fake outs. Basically, it then becomes I'm going to do what the market has always done until proven otherwise. Holy shit, though. What a day. Way too many. Way too many. Most trades I think I've ever taken in a day. Insane fucking week. Not a single pyramid either. Kind of nuts. All right, guys. So final call for questions here. Final call for questions. Oh, insane asylum day. Biggest day of the year by a lot. Maybe close to my biggest day ever. Yeah, absolutely, Ajay. I mean, you're asking at the right time, that's for sure. Good day to be asking for dinner. Send me a message. We'll figure something out. Well, I'll send you some Uber Eats or something. Oh. Oh, all right, guys. So same deal like always, right? If you have any other questions, hit me up outside of market hours. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, I'm gonna I gotta jump on some one-on-one calls here. Otherwise, everything else is gonna get destroyed for the rest of the day. So amazing session here, guys. Love to see that everyone is green, or a vast majority of you guys are green. Send me your journals end of the day. Let's go over them. I'm gonna probably do a little bit of a victory run later this afternoon, so bear with me. Oh, but and breathe. So same deal like always. If you guys have any questions, hit me up outside of market hours. Do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. One hell of a day, team. One hell of a day. See ya.